What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Helldivers 2 one last time before the game comes out. So just a few things I want to go over, some kind of stories that are making its way online. And the first one is how well it's doing sales-wise. Now, look, we don't know the actual number, and this is always something I'm kind of interested in. I'm a numbers guy, I'm a math guy, and I've actually even talked about this with Suicide Squad, right? These games are high up on the charts of who's playing games, but what's the actual number, right? It doesn't really tell us the number. So Helldivers, for I believe at least one full day, maybe a little bit longer, is actually #1 on the Steam top sellers list. Everybody's making a big deal about Palworld, right? Like beating it. It actually is beating Counter-Strike 2. Palworld seemingly has dropped because I feel like at some point it was Helldivers 2 at #1 and then Palworld at #2. Again, though, that's not the case anymore, so Palworld is #5. I don't want to make it a battle, for whatever reason, some people are, between Helldivers and it, but it's good. I mean, Helldivers 2 being #1, I think is a really good sign. And again, for me, I guess, interesting. Look, do I care how much it sells necessarily? Not really. And building off the back of a first game that I think is really good, but obviously changing it to third person, which I think should help the mainstream appeal, right? And this maybe is what that is, right? Mainstream is maybe seeing it and saying, okay, I'm into that. Also comes out on PlayStation and PC simultaneously. So the people getting it on Steam, right now, are people pre-ordering it. They're going to be able to play with those PlayStation 5 users. So, like I said for Suicide Squad, it doesn't give us the numbers. I'm not going to give it an award or something, but I think that's a pretty good sign, and we'll see how long it holds #1, and ultimately, what is #1, right? Is it outselling the other games by 2,000 units? Are we talking 20,000 sales? Are we talking 100,000? I mean, you can be #1 and have a pretty big difference in the amount of sales that you're doing, right? So again, do I care too much? Not really. I kind of just interested in what it ends up selling. And then the other thing, and we've talked about this before, I guess I just wanted to make it in terms of Helldivers 2 specific, there's no reviews. Now, I don't see that as a terrible thing. I think actually for a game like this, it makes a lot of sense for the obvious reason. So let's kind of just say it. It's a cooperative online game. I don't know if the servers are up or not. I did see people on YouTube that had the whatever the highest edition of this game is that came in a box. I saw an unboxing video. So I think people have it. I don't know if people are actively playing it, but this makes a lot of sense. And honestly, I know Suicide Squad, again, I'm bringing it up, but it's just a recent example. I know it didn't get good scores, and the scores, went live the day that the game went live. But the thing with Suicide Squad as well was the servers weren't on. Literally, if you got the game early, if somebody sold it to you physically early 2 weeks ago, you couldn't actually play it because the servers were not online. So Helldivers, I just bring up Suicide Squad again as a recent comparison. Helldivers is an online game. You're going to get the best experience when everybody's playing. And I actually think that's fair, for a review process, to judge it when 200 journalists are playing it online and the servers are not cluttered. You really don't have a good sense if everything is up to snuff. Versus tomorrow and the next day when everybody's playing it, you can really get a sense if your online game actually works online. And again, there are negatives to that, right? The reviews aren't going to go live until, tomorrow, maybe even Friday or Saturday. That would be, potential negative for people that are, waiting on reviews to get the game. It's not perfectly ideal, but honestly, again, and for an obvious reason, this makes sense for a game like this. Game launches tomorrow. I think it's different times depending on your territory. I think it's maybe 2, 3, 4 p.m. my time in Colorado. It's kind of, again, different based off where you are, but midday, later day tomorrow, it should be live, and I hope to play it as quickly as I can. Not to rush it, but I just want to, jump in when I can, and we'll do a couple videos on the channel, okay? Let me know what you think. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.